In this video, I am going to talk about zone-based firewall or ZBFW. What is the zone-based firewall? Cisco zone-based firewall is the latest integrated stateful firewall technology included in iOS. Zone-based firewall reduces the need for a firewall at a branch site to provide a stateful network security. It means that we have a firewall inside the iOS of our router, and we don't need to buy appliance in smaller branches for firewall. Actually, in a smaller branch, we have a router in most cases in the border of the network, and we can use the router for the firewall functionality, okay? And we don't need to buy firewall appliance in a smaller branch. But don't forget, if you have a, for example, headquarter or large branch, you need the firewall appliance or most advanced firewalls for most advanced features. But you can use easily the zone-based firewall in Cisco routers in a smaller branch for providing a stateful firewall. What is the stateful firewall? You know about the ACL or access control list. Access control list is working based on protocol, source IP address, destination IP address, and ports. Okay. Unfortunately, ACL does not support a stateless inspection of a packet payload, okay, to detect whether attackers are using a port that they have found open. A stateful firewall are capable of looking into layer 4 through layer 7 of a network packet to verify the state of the transmission. Let me to explain about the zone-based firewall configuration, and also let me to talk about one example. After that, we can better understand what is the zone-based firewall and also what is the benefits of the stateful firewall. Here we have a simple scenario. In this simple scenario, we have 4 routers: router 1, router 2, router 3, and router 4. As you can see, the router 2 is the border router here, and also we have router 1. Router 1 is residing inside of network. Assume that this is one of the hosts inside of our network, and router 3 is residing, as you can see, in the outside of our network. Assume that this is internet, for example. And also here we have router 4. Router 4 is residing in the DMZ or demilitarized zone. In most cases, when we use demilitarized zone, we want to give access to this zone from the outside. Actually, you know that in most cases, for security reasons, from outside to inside of network, we don't have we don't have connectivity. Actually, look at here. For example, here we have inside of our network, we can send traffic. This is the for example, router 2. We can send traffic through the router 2 to the outside. From inside, we can send traffic to the outside, but you know that outside cannot establish connection to the inside of network. But the traffic that we send from the inside to the outside can send back, okay, to the inside from the outside. Actually, this traffic, this is the for example packet 1, and this is the answer of packet 1. But outside cannot send traffic to the inside because of for example security reasons. And also here about the DMZ, assume that this is DMZ or demilitarized zone. Okay, we can send from the DMZ traffic to the outside and also from outside to DMZ. But here we have also another communication from the outside. This the outside has connectivity to the DMZ. This is the packet 2 from the outside to the DMZ, and also this is the answer from the DMZ to the outside. Actually, if we want to publish a server, a feature, we can reside it in the DMZ, and from the outside, the internet, for example, they have reachability to the DMZ, and also from the DMZ we can send the replies. Okay, this is one of the most common examples that we experience in our network. Inside can send traffic to the outside, and also it can receive the answer of its traffic or the reply of its traffic. But the outside directly cannot establish connection from the outside to the inside, but DMZ is part of our network that we can use this part for communication with the outside. In this scenario, I will implement this, for example that from the inside we have connectivity to the outside, but from outside directly it cannot send traffic to the inside, and also from outside to DMZ we have connectivity. Let me first explain the inside to outside connectivity. After that we can talk about the DMZ. I will configure this scenario from the scratch because I want to show you everything. Okay, because of that I didn't configure anything in this scenario. Let me to start configuration from the router 1. Don't forget, if you want to implement security features, first you should ensure that you have connectivity, you have connections. After that you can implement your policies. Here we can start from the router 1. This is the router 1. In the router 1, okay, at the first step we need to assign IP address. Enable configure terminal. Okay, we have one interface gigabit 00, and the IP address of this interface is 10.121.255.255.255.0, and then no shutdown. Okay, the only command that we need. Also in the router 1, because I want to have connectivity with other networks, let me to configure one static default route, IP route, quad 0. The next stop is the router 2, 10.122. That's it. This is the configuration of the router 1. Let me to configure the router 3. About the router 3, we can use the configuration of router 1. This is the R3, okay, and then enable configure terminal interface gigabit 00. As you can see, the IP address of the gigabit 00 is 10.233.10.233.255.255.255.0, and then no shutdown. Also IP route quad 0. The next stop is 10.232. So easy, 10.232. All right, now let me to configure the router 4. This is the router 4 configuration, R4. Here, enable configure terminal interface gigabit 00. The IP address of this interface is 10.244.255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Then IP route quad 0. The next stop is 10.242. That's it. Okay, this is the configuration of the router 1, router 3, and router 4. Now let me to configure the router 2. Here we have the configuration of R1. Let me to customize it. Let me to modify it for the router 2. R2, enable configure terminal. Here we have 3 interface. Let me to copy this gigabit 00 configuration 3 times. We don't need a static default route also. Here, as you can see, interface gigabit 00. The IP address of this interface is 10.122.255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Then gigabit 01. The IP address of this interface is the 10.232. Okay, 255.255.255.0, and no shutdown. After that, interface gigabit 02, this interface, the IP address of this interface is 10.242.255.255.255.0, and no shutdown. This is the configuration of the router 1, router 2, router 3, and router 4. Now, let me to copy these commands, and after that we can talk about the zone-based firewall configuration. This is the CLI of the router 1. All right, also let me to change configure the host name. Host name is R1. That's it. Okay, the configuration of router 1. Here we can add host name R1, and also in the router 2 host name, for example, R2, and then in the router 3 host name R3, and finally in the router 4 the host name is the R4. Now let me to continue the copy of the configuration into the router 2, router 3, and 4. This is the router 2 configuration, and then here we can see the CLI of the router 2. All right, and this is the configuration. Here we have a problem. Let me to I copied 2 times. It's okay. Let me to copy 1 time again more. All right, now everything is okay. I will verify the result of our configuration. Then in the router 3, let me to copy the configuration of the router 3. We don't have any problem here. This is the router 3 CLI, and this is the copy of the configuration. And then in the router 4, again, let me to copy, and this is the R4 configuration. Now, without any